Tahrir Square, Egypt, the world-famous backdrop to a popular revolution that was broadcast across the globe. Weeks on from the departure of former President Hosni Mubarak, protesters still occupy the square, yearning for the democratic change Egyptians have craved for a generation. The presence of the military is visible, but relaxed. Anger and despair have been replaced by hope and aspiration. My taxi driver Ahmed is a head teacher. This fact itself explains a great deal about society in Egypt, particularly the state of education. Ahmed holds down 3 jobs to support his 3 daughters, receiving the equivalent of £100 a month as a teacher. Driving through the chaotic streets of Cairo is a sight to behold, particularly now as we pass the burnt headquarters of the former president. But venture into the poverty-stricken suburbs and reality really hits. Sewage-sodden roads greet us as Ahmed takes us to the town of where his school is situated. Culture shocks come in all shapes and sizes, but this one really is set apart. This is where the majority of his pupils live, where illiteracy is rife among parents, let alone the children. The village is a classic example of how impoverished, neglected and forgotten certain sections of Egyptian society became under the Mubarak regime. It's the first day back at Abu Bakr el-Siddiq school since Cairo schools closed during the revolution. With over 3,200 pupils and an average of 70 pupils per class, teachers are under severe pressure in meeting the needs of every child. Across Egypt, many families prefer their children to receive private tuition, but that is just not a financially viable option in this downtown part of the city. The life chances for Egyptian children are limited. Years of underinvestment in education by Mubarak's government have transformed the school system from one of the most enviable in the Arab world to one that falls woefully short of the Millennium Development Goals set by the G20. Yet typically, the teachers are stoical. This is a happy school with committed teachers, eager to provide a better future for the next generation. Indeed, it is the Shabab, or the youth, that led the uprising on January 25th. But this school has not escaped the adverse effects of the revolution. This is its computer room, where all 5 machines were taken during the looting. But life goes on here. Regime change brings new hope, and staff here are hopeful about the new education minister. On the first day of a new dawn, after 30 years of iron-fisted rule, social injustice and corruption, one teacher takes great delight in removing a relic of the past from his classroom. Pupils join the school at 6 years of age and start learning English straight away. For most youngsters, learning English is the only way out of poverty. School books in Egypt are subsidised by the government, while pupils pay tuition fees of 45 Egyptian pounds, around £4.50 English sterling per year.
I am fine, thank you. Sit down, sit down.
The school is run by Ahmed and his colleague Mohammed. Mohammed is keen to let me know about what is wrong with state education in his country, as well as his vision for education trade unionism in a new, democratic Egypt. Teachers are very poorly paid. They get about 1,000 Egyptian pounds a month, depending on age and experience. Although they can boost their income for out-of-hours extra tuition, the cost of living remains high. With 7 days sick leave, teachers receive 30 to 45 days annual leave within school holidays. All teachers are in a union, but according to Mohammed, the views of the profession are not represented well. We want unions to speak on behalf of teachers, but because teaching is funded by the government, unions are poorly funded and cannot be open and democratic. Since the January 25th revolution, the Teachers' Union is more proactive and has submitted a list of demands to improve career progression, end a 2-year pay freeze, and a better bonus scheme in relation to performance and taking part in assessment and marking exam papers. Ahmed is keen to highlight another problem within the Egyptian teaching profession. There are a large number of teachers on temporary contracts. Their contracts are terminated at the end of term and don't get paid for holiday. These teachers don't have the same commitment and devotion as permanent ones. We want to restore the status of head teachers to the past, where they were respected. We want to make sure it's university graduates that are coming into primary schools, not just secondary schools. The changing curriculum is being loaded with irrelevant material. The teachers who are the experts are not being asked about the changes. CPD is haphazard and poor. Training is organised by the Ministry of Education, but the teaching union is impotent. We don't feel we have a union. The syllabus is planned through a generic curriculum that covers all schools but doesn't cover different cultures and social backgrounds. The curriculum doesn't take these into account. Children come from villages where there are no sanitary facilities and need teaching how to use the toilet, even at the age of 6. If anything goes wrong, it is deducted from our salaries. The director is an honest, religious man who puts all his efforts into the school performing well. He's been teaching for 22 years. How is it justifiable that for 22 years he has been paid £800 per month? We hope that unions in the UK can come up with proposals to reward teachers for what we do and provide support. If you improve the working conditions and the school, pupils and society will be rewarded. Teachers will devote more time to teaching and help produce a well-educated generation.